Alright y'all, in this video I want to talk about swing trading, and more specifically I want to show you a strategy that I use to find really great entries on long-term swing trades. I'm talking trades that I'm in for at least a week, but in these bull markets you could be in these trades for maybe 2, 3, even 4 weeks. Now we're going to be using two time frames for this. We're going to be using the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. But before we get into the strategy, I want to show you guys something. Now, a lot of new traders, they suffer from something that I like to call overtrading syndrome, which basically means that they want to always be in a trade, always. They feel like if they're not trading, they're not making progress. They feel like if they're sitting on the sidelines watching the price go up and down, they're missing out on opportunity to make money. And although that might technically be true, for new traders, a lot of times it's better not to enter every single trade, because if you don't have the experience, if you don't have the technical analysis skills, you're probably going to find yourself losing more trades than you want to. So sometimes it's better to just zoom out, use a higher time frame, like the daily and the 4-hour, and maybe only enter one trade every few weeks. And you would be surprised at how much you could make. For example, if we had just entered a trade right here, this green trigger wave on the daily time frame, right? If we had just entered a trade right here and ridden this wave up, we could have made over 100%, right? We could have doubled our account in 28 days. That's huge, guys. To double your account in 28 days, if you have $1,000, you could have 2,000 in a month. That's huge. We don't want to look at money. This is something else I feel messes new traders up. They're looking at the dollar amount. They say, I want to make X amount of dollars every single day or every single month. I guarantee that is going to end up getting you liquidated, because you're going to be tempted to over leverage, and then you're going to get wicked down to your liquidation price. Instead, you should be looking at percents. You want to make a certain percentage. Your goal should be make a certain percentage of your account over time. To make 100% on your account is an amazing feat, whether you have $100 in your account or if you have $100,000 in your account. Now, we could have entered another trade right here on January 28th, and we could have made another 70% in 26 days. So right now, with no leverage, in 2 months, you would have made almost 200% on your account. Now, keep in mind, the first trade, we were making 100% on our account, and so we doubled our account, right? And now we have double the amount of money that we're earning the 70% on this second trade. So it's just snowballing. It's snowballing. And instead of focusing on money, you're focusing on percentage, and your account is growing bigger and bigger, and this is how you're going to build more capital, and the more capital you have, the more money you will be able to make over time. This is very important. So, there's a really good long opportunity coming up, and I want to show you guys the strategy that I use to find the best entry at the low. And we're going to be using the daily chart and the 4-hour chart, and we're going to be using Market Cipher B. Okay, just strictly Market Cipher B. Maybe some support and resistance lines. I actually have some levels marked out here, but really we're not going to get into that too much on this video. Now, I want to point some things out to you guys. The higher the time frame is, the more seriously you should be taking the signals on Market Cipher B. And if you're new to my channel, okay, I want you guys to go back and watch some of the videos that I've made in the past. I want you to go watch right here, Market Cipher Trading Strategy, Win Every Trade, and this one right here, the Market Cipher Scalping Strategy. These will give you a very good idea of how to use Market Cipher B, how to use Market Cipher in general in order to win trades. And guys, if you don't have Market Cipher, you can click the link in the description of this video to get Market Cipher. If you use my link, I have a 10% off discount code. So if you don't have Market Cipher, get the 10% discount. That would be awesome. So anyway, when we're looking at Market Cipher B on the higher time frames, these signals are much more powerful than if we're looking at the 1 hour. They're much more powerful even than looking at the 4-hour. If we get a trigger wave that confirms below the 0 line on the daily time frame, this is an extremely powerful signal. Let me just show you what happened the last few times we printed a green trigger wave below the 0 line on Market Cipher B on the daily time frame. Each time it happened, we had a huge run up. So this time it happened right here, and we ended up, I mean, you could have really entered here and stayed in and made a really nice 280%. The next time it happens, right down here, you enter here, you ride it up to the top, another 100%. The next time it happens, we enter right here, and we ride it up, and we get 74%. Now, honestly, just using the daily time frame, it's not really a bad strategy if you go and backtest entering whenever we get some good Market Cipher B signals on the daily time frame. Now, keep in mind, guys, and this is a very important caveat, a bull market like this, okay, we're going to be looking for different things than we are in kind of a sideways market like this. On a sideways market like this, we're going to be reading Market Cipher B on the daily time frame more like we would read it on the 4-hour time frame, where we're looking for a anchor and then the money flow to cross over and give us a trigger. But if we're in a bull market like this, where we can clearly see that we are in an uptrend, pretty much any time you see a Market Cipher B print a green trigger wave underneath that 0 line, that is a very bullish signal. And we're actually printing, we just printed one yesterday. If you can see right here, we just printed a green trigger wave on Market Cipher B, right here like this. It's actually higher than the last trigger wave on the daily time frame. So this is a very powerful signal that we should be looking for an entry to go long. Now, how do we find these good entries? Because if we go to our 4-hour chart, we see something. We see that we came up to a very, very key daily level of resistance. Right here, we came up to a daily level of resistance. And for those of you who don't know, resistance is a ceiling that price has a hard time breaking above. And the reason we know it is a resistance is because in the past we've seen price form kind of a sticking point right here, where this level has been respected by price in the past, where we either had a hard time breaking down below it, like right here, or we had a hard time breaking above it, like right here. So we came up and we rejected perfectly off this daily level of resistance. Now, what are we looking for? What are we looking for on the 4-hour time frame? Because we see that we have a bullish signal on the daily time frame, but the 4-hour time frame is telling us we're rejecting off a resistance. And also, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, it looks like we're coming to the top of one of these momentum waves, right? It looks like we're about to print a red dot. And the way we can tell we're about to print a red dot is if we zoom in here, you can see that we have two waves here. We have this kind of gray wave, and then we have this dark blue wave, and they're just crossing over each other. Whenever the light blue / gray wave crosses behind the dark blue wave, we print a red dot. And it looks like we're about to print another red dot right here. So because we got such a bullish signal on the daily, now we need to tune it down to the 4-hour and wait very patiently for the 4-hour to give us some really bullish signals. And that's when we should look to enter along. Now again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you how I am looking to trade Bitcoin in the near future, because I am looking to enter a long position that I will hold for a number of weeks, but I am not going to do it until I get all my confirmations. So confirmation number 1, trigger wave on the daily. Confirmation number 2, let me show you guys. Let's go back to January 28th. We'll go back to January 28th. On January 28th, on the 4-hour chart, we were kind of in a similar situation as we are to right now. We had just printed, this is why I'm going back, very similar situation. We had just printed a green trigger wave on the daily time frame on Market Cipher B. The money flow was still in the red on the 4-hour Market Cipher B, and we were heading up, about to print a red dot right here, right? We were about to print a red dot on the 4-hour Market Cipher B. The best time to enter would have been waiting for Market Cipher B on the 4-hour to calm down. Look at what happened. Price went way up, right? It went way up. Elon Musk helped, but let's ignore Elon Musk. We went way up. We got rejected off of a resistance. Look at this. We got rejected off a resistance, just like what's happening now. And then price came back down a little bit. And when price came back down a little bit, what happened? We printed a trigger wave on the 4-hour time frame right here, and we saw a money flow crossover where the money flow crossed from the red into the green. This would have been a really awesome, safe signal to go long. So we would have entered right here on the daily time frame at this candle right here, and we would have ridden this up, and we would have gotten a nice 73%. Of course, we probably wouldn't have gotten out at the exact top, so conservatively, let's say we got out at this support line, we still would have made 60%. Now, this is a very, very, very safe entry. If you are looking to swing trade, if you are new to trading, this is very safe. And the reason for that is because we have so much confirmation on these huge time frames. Like I said before, signals on the large time frames are much more powerful than signals on the smaller time frames. If we get a trigger wave that confirms under the zero line during an uptrend on the daily, and then at the same time on the 4-hour we get a trigger wave where there's clear momentum, we can see things are curving up, and we get the money flow crossover where it crosses from the purple into the blue, this is an amazing entry. And this is the kind of entry I'm looking for to go swing long, meaning I'm entering on my swing trading ByBit account, and I am looking to hold it for at least a number of weeks, because I'm expecting, guys, and again, this is just what I'm doing. Please, if you listen to me, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a YouTuber, and if you listen to what I say, you will lose all your Bitcoin, all your Ethereum, all your money, your house, your car, your wife, your friends, your lunch. Everything will be lost if you listen to me. But I am expecting Bitcoin within the next few weeks to come up to like 80,000, 85,000. That's just what I'm expecting, guys. So when I'm looking for a really nice entry right here, I can expect, just based on the pattern that we've had, like this. We had a period of, over a month where we were in a very clear uptrend right here. We had a period of about 23 days where we were in an uptrend. So that was 3 weeks. What's going to happen here? Are we going to have another few weeks where we're in an uptrend? If we have another, 30-day uptrend, that could get us to a pretty high Bitcoin price. Even if it's not 85K, even if we don't get there at this leg, I'm expecting that we'll get at least, to 65. So this is how you're going to find good entries on the large time frames, guys. You're going to look for the daily. That's going to be the time frame you use to identify your environment, and then you're going to dial it down to the 4-hour. And the 4-hour, when it confirms bullish, when you see these things on the 4-hour, when you see an anchor wave, you see a trigger wave, and then you see trigger waves where the money flow is crossing from the red into the green, where we can see, just like CryptoFace says, water is coming into the garden, money is coming into the asset. This is our signal to enter long, and as soon as we enter long here, off to the races. Now, guys, one more thing to keep in mind here. If you're going to trade this style, you need to have discipline, you need to have patience, you need to have self-control, and you have to set it and forget it. Meaning this: you could find a really great signal on the 4-hour, but look, we had entered right here on January 31st. We would have went up and made a nice like 3% gain, and then we would have come down and been 2% in the red. You have to have the self-control to just let the trade run. You waited for your confirmations. You know we have upward momentum on both the daily and the 4-hour. Don't freak out and get out of the trade too early. Now, as far as stop losses go, let's talk about stop losses. I always like to put my stop loss underneath the last swing low. So if we had entered right here on this candle, I would have put my stop loss underneath this last swing low, which was right down here. Why here? For a number of reasons. Because I know that if we come back down here, it means we're not really in an uptrend, right? Because we were printing lower lows, coming down, lower low, and then we printed a higher low. And then I'm trying to get in right here because we printed a higher low. We had a whole bunch of confirmation on Market Cipher B. I want to get up and ride this uptrend up. If we come down and we cross below that previous low, that means we're not really in an uptrend. We need to get out of the trade. So put your stop loss below the last swing low. Another awesome thing that you can do, guys, is use the 21 EMA on Market Cipher A. Here's how we're going to do it. Pull up Market Cipher A, click the gear button, and remove all the ribbons except ribbon 5. Okay? Oops, what did I do? All the ribbons except ribbon 5. Ribbon 5 is a 21 exponential moving average. And another thing you can do on the way up, guys, is just keep your stop loss consistently under that 21 EMA. So I would have started with my stop loss here to give myself some nice playing room. And then every time we print another low, like for example, I entered here, right? I put my stop loss under the last low. And then when we print another low right here, then I would just move my stop loss underneath that low. I would move my stop loss underneath this low and make sure it's also underneath that 21 EMA. And then again, I would move it under this low. And then again, I would move it under this low. Hey, look, guys, CryptoFace posted a new video. I don't know if this is old or new. Sometimes I don't get notifications until after the fact. So that might have been the one he posted earlier. Now, as far as take profit levels go, guys, I also recommend that you take some profits on the way up. You know? And what I like to do is every time, if I entered right here, every time we print some of these red diamonds, I just take a little bit off the trade. Maybe take a little bit off right here. Maybe take a little bit off right here. Take a little bit off right here. And as you're taking profit out of the trade, you're also, remember, moving your stop loss up. So this ensures that you're going to make profit because you're taking profits out on the way up, not the whole trade, maybe like 5-10% on the way up here and there. And then your stop loss is constantly moving upwards in profit too. So you're going to get to the point where the worst thing that could happen is that you get stopped out of the trade with massive profits. So this is how I swing trade with Market Cipher, guys, and it's awesome, especially in a bull market like this where we know for the next few months Bitcoin is going to be really, moving upwards in price. If we're using these signals on these higher time frames, it will eliminate a lot of the psychological issues that new traders have to deal with, like indecision, like thinking they found a good entry on the 1 hour and then realizing that the 4 hour invalidated the 1 hour, or finding a good entry on the 4 hour and realizing that the 1 hour invalidated the 4 hour entry, and they're just all over the place and they can't focus. If you're new, start with this strategy. Start with the 4 hour, 24-minute strategy that I do in this video right here. Market Cipher Trading Strategy, win every trade. This is the thumbnail right here. Check it out. I highly recommend this for new traders, guys. I guarantee that you will have much more success getting used to trading on these higher time frames than you will trying to scalp. Am I saying you should not scalp? No. I'm saying that you will probably get the most bang for your buck, pun intended, if you start swing trading on larger time frames while simultaneously learning to hone your skills to scalp on the smaller time frames. All right, guys, I hope you found this video useful. I really do. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, guys. I really think this kind of information can help people. Also, if you don't have Market Cipher, click the link in the description of this video and get 10% off with that coupon code. One more thing, guys. My course that I'm offering, that I'm going to live stream, we're filling up quick. We're filling up super quick. I think I have like 7 slots left. I am still going to allow people to sign up after all 50 sign up, but you won't have access to the live stream or the live Q&A. You will have access to all the videos as soon as they're done recording. You'll also have access to the private Discord, and I'll charge you a cheaper price for that. For more information on that course, send me an email. I'll leave it in the description of this video. Send me an email. I'll get back to you with the details. All right, guys. See y'all in the next video.